are live on the Muscogee Reservation, and you are on the Muscogee Pod. Jason Salsman along with Shelby Botone here in the pod cave. What up, Shelb?
What up? How's it going?
It's going real good. Episode 2 here in the new format. Excited to be on YouTube. Excited to be back on all our streaming platforms as well for the people listening as they make their commutes to and from work, or if they're doing housework and they've got us on and just chilling, or listen to some of the old episodes, whatever you like to do, however you like to access the Muscogee Pod. As long as you're listening to conversations from our reservation, Shelby and I are cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
What you been up to? Lots, huh?
Right after we put out our first episode this season, I came down with the flu.
Oh, yes, you did.
I know.
And you didn't get a flu shot, or you did?
I did not this year.
What are you doing?
I know. Usually,
we've got so many opportunities. Shout out MCN Health.
I know. We have had so many opportunities to get the flu shot, but I don't know why I didn't this year. I don't know. It
just felt like something you could have done without.
I usually get it though.
Do you still feel that way? Do you still feel that way, or do you feel like you're going to get one next year? Wow.
Yeah, I'll probably get one next year.
Okay.
Still lingering effects from it, but I'm not contagious.
That's what everybody's kind of told me. Is it like they've had like a cough for like months after having the flu this year?
Yeah.
Are you the same? Kind of.
It's kind of, yeah. It seems like it wants to go away, but it's like slowly.
It was weird.
Every day it seems to get a little better.
It was weird not having you here.
I know.
There was like, I was like, where's Shelby at?
I hated it.
And I didn't even need you for anything, or like need to ask you anything. I was just like, it's like that not having the lights on. You know what I mean?
I know. Oh my gosh. I guess I needed a refresher because this time was bad. The flu, I've had it before, and this one seemed like it was quite worse. But it just made me, realize the value of health.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. And the value of taking care of those flu shots.
Correct.
Make sure when the mobile health, MCN mobile health unit comes around, make sure you get a, jab in the arm and you're good. You know, one of the things that I've found out is I used to be like a flu shot denier. I was like a anti-vaxxer when it came to flu shots. I was like, no, man, that just gives you the flu. They don't even know what strain it is. I'd done my research. I was all like, that doesn't work, whatever. But I found out, and I've softened myself a little bit. And I've found out through talking with some health professionals and everything like that, that it really is just given so that if you get the flu, then it won't be as bad. Like your symptoms won't be as bad. You won't get as sick and things like that. So I made it through, knock, knock, pretty scot-free this year. Took my flu shot. You know what was cool? My flu shot was given by Breda.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like one of Breda's last time she did a flu clinic.
Yeah.
And sadly, we lost her this year. Shout out her family and all the great work she did. But she was like I was one of like her last people to give a flu shot.
Yeah,
to.
You and Chief, right?
Yeah, which was me and Chief.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, and we've had a lot of people out up here at the Nation. A lot of people are sick. Hopefully everybody's getting well and kind of kicking out and getting out of it, because we got a lot of stuff coming up and a lot of things to be excited about this spring, going into the summer. So,
I was glad to make it back last week because we had a lot going on.
Yeah, we did.
I want to do another quick recap for you real quick.
Holdenville.
Yeah, man. Holdenville.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this on the pod last time that we were about to do the groundbreaking, and we did it last week.
Big time place coming there. February 18th, we broke ground on the new health center coming in winter of 2027 with our great partners at BOK Financial and Childers Architects, Crossland Construction there. Masca Builders. Yeah, my bad.
We get them all mixed up.
I get them mixed up because we're doing so many different
much
things.
Work going on.
It's going to be great. It's going to have a wellness center, a lot of different types of care. You can see the pavilion there. Just a really nice design. It's going to be a great place for that community. I know they're very excited for it.
Heck yeah, man. Me too. And then we had the Muscogee Elders Sweetheart Dance on February 19th.
Get down. Lots of dancing, lots of good times. It's one of your favorite things of the year, isn't
man,
it? Yeah,
it
I thought
is.
so.
It's so great just seeing them, spend time together. And
look at those elders
happy.
right there. Second Chief and his lovely wife Rhonda are going to get me for that. And then you got some other elders there.
Representative McHenry.
Son McHenry, yes, and his lovely wife.
He's a fan favorite.
He really is, and he's wearing those loud coats. Yeah. I love it, man. He's really showing up.
He's burning up the dance floor every year.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can see from these pictures, they have such a good time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, one of our best events throughout the entire year, the Challenge Bowl.
Correct. Yes. I was there at that one for the elementary. We just wrapped up with the elementary on February 20th. Man, these kids, they're so impressive.
Yeah, and they're so excited to use the stuff that they're learning.
Right.
Like, we talked to these kids. I went over there with Lance. Lance, I play in the Lance Gouger band, and Lance is an artist, and he went to the Challenge Bowl. He's actually was a question this year.
That's cool.
And so he was there as a guest, and he signed autographs for the kids while his music video is playing in the background. And it was just cool to see them interact with him and him interact with them, and just a big event. And it was so cool. I mean, the Challenge Bowl, you know what I mean when I say, like, you go over there and you just catch a vibe.
Yeah.
And the kids, like, came up and talked to me and Lance, and then after, when they would leave, they'd be like, oh, gee, Chothleys. Gee, Chothleys. And they're just so excited to show, off that, we're learning the language, we're using it. Yes, kids, use it every single day. If a little bit or a lot or whatever, use it every single day, and use those opportunities to use the phrases that you've learned and the words that you've learned, and build on that and immerse yourself in it. That's the way to do it.
Right.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. And I was
True.
Yeah, but I saw the finals for the elementary, and again, they were so impressive. I think Glenpool swept it this year. But
always, they're great.
Yeah, Glenpool.
But
that's great.
they make it like a part of their curriculum.
Yeah, it's a priority for sure. So that's awesome. I can't wait. I mean, schools are catching up though. They are. They are. So that's a good sign.
A lot more parity at the Challenge Bowl.
It made me pretty proud that they used my tactics.
Yes.
Whenever they didn't know an answer, guess what? Chito Harjo. I was like, oh my gosh.
Shelby. Chito Harjo. That's not a bad strategy.
My practices live on.
Chito Harjo, Abithli Yehola, Claude Cox, 79 Constitution. I mean, there are like 4 or 5 phrases.
Manawa. No, yeah, I think it was Abithli Yehola was used for one.
Yeah, for sure.
They got it wrong, but hey, good guess.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, Chito Harjo, always the go-to. And
they're still in Abithli Yehola.
Use that.
He stopped by the chief's office the other day.
Who did?
Abithli Yehola is Thomas Yehola's son with Thomas, former speaker, and they were actually visiting with Chief, and they showed Chief a proclamation from the state of Kansas that Thomas had gotten back in the day, of being, the descendants of Abithli Yehola.
Nice.
And so his son is named Abithli Yehola. And then, they stopped by there and was visiting with Chief. I just got to poke in and say hi. It's always good to see Speaker Yehola. But, it was cool. I was like, oh,
great.
Cool, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Always cool stuff going on,
You never know who's going to be up here.
I know.
it could be Sterling Harjo one day. The next day it could be Joy Harjo. Speaker Yehola.
All the Yeholas.
Yeah, and then Dallas Goldtooth's walking through here. That was us, though. You have us to thank for that one, because Dallas has never come up here other than anything but for the Muscogee Pod. So
right.
Check out that episode. That's pretty good.
but we got a lot to talk about this episode. Yeah, got a lot to talk about
this episode.
You have a lot to talk about.
The Muscogee Nation crossing the pond to the UK for the first time ever.
Whoa.
A Muscogee Nation principal chief in the modern era traveled over to England and Scotland. We were there for an entire week, Shelby. It's a week I will absolutely never forget. It was an opportunity to go on an ambassadorial trip, nation to nation, government to government, goodwill. But also, we performed and executed the first international repatriation back to the United States in the history of the world.
Right.
Like making absolute history.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting. Everyone's like, well, how did our stuff end up over there to begin with?
We wondered that too. Like we were like, what's going on?
Right.
And so, but a lot of people don't know this, but there's incredible cultural and connections from Scotland to our people, the English, and our people fighting off the French and needing help from the British, and all of those transcriptions going back and forth at, in the 18th century, as far back. And there were, ambassadorial trips even going on then. And so to uncover all of that and literally step in the year 2026 back into those giant footprints that were left by ancestors, that I couldn't quit thinking about, like a creek in late 1700s, making the months-long old wooden ship across this huge, gnarly ocean. And when I say gnarly ocean, I'm talking about like North Sea crashing into the island that is the UK, massive waves, sub-zero freezing temperature water,
and compromised immune systems.
Compromised immune systems, no comforts of modern day technology, modern day advancement. You could get a paper cut back then and it may kill you in a couple of weeks, and it just to think about the fact that we had people that were making that trip and got all the way over there and were able to make those ambassadorial connections and sort of be like culture to culture, like we're here, this is what we're doing, we're making the connection. You couldn't help but feel that the whole entire time we were there. And it was just amazing. So, just to recap everything, it was a Sunday and we got on a plane to Dallas, and that plane in Dallas, we left at about 8:45 that night from Dallas. Straight from Dallas to London Heathrow Airport. It was about an 9 hour flight overnight. And I want to let everybody out there listening and watching know I did not sleep a wink.
Really?
I can't sleep in cars or airplanes and whatever, and I was so worried about that, And Ashton's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to give you 2 Tylenol PM and 2 melatonin, and you'll be gone. And I was just like, okay, cool. That sounds good. Maybe might need to get some propofol. I don't know, and gave me all that still, like a boss, just went through it and like sat there, like literally the entire plane's out. It's completely dark, and I'm just back there like freaking out because I can't quit moving around. I can't get comfortable. I'm trying to sleep. I absolutely cannot. And so, anyway, it was a tough trip over for yours truly. Ashton slept like a baby, so she was just fine. We wake up. Everybody wakes up. We get there. I think we were about 11 o'clock London time is when we got there. Maybe a little bit later. But we got there, and really there was not much going on the first day, the night. We were able to kind of get our bearings and get
your
nap
jet lag
and try to get that jet lag under control. And checked into our hotel. We stayed in a great little hotel there in the Worcester Square, I think it was. And that's a nice area there. Right outside of our hotel, they actually had the premiere. There was a theater, and they were having the premiere of the new Jason Statham movie, which was crazy because he was there. And like they had all the cameras and lights set up and a red carpet and everything like that. So I was like, whoa, right outside the hotel.
Wow.
And it was neat. We stayed at a great place and really centralized to where we could get to everything easily, and got used to the underground. So loved taking the underground. It's kind of their subway system. Really cool, really easy.
Oh, that's what they call it?
Yeah,
The underground?
Yeah.
How did I never know that?
It's like an iconic symbol too. It's got the U with like the red circle around it and everything, and it says underground, which is kind of cool. And that was awesome. And when we started figuring out how to travel that way, so we would go from like different parts of London to different parts, and depending on where we needed to go. But the very next day was when everything kind of got rolling for us, and we showed up to Westminster, and that's kind of where you see the iconic photo of Chief Hill there, with the Westminster in the background and the wrought iron gates.
Cool photo, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
and we went to the Abbey and got to go and really enjoy a service in there, which was insane and iconic. And this is just sort of us walking in. And right here, it meant so much to me to be able to see Chief making this walk and with Ray Lynn. And as you can see there, Chief is with the Baroness Emma Nicholson of Winterbourne. She's in the House of Lords there.
Wow.
In the,
is she
British
the one
Parliament.
that coordinated the trip?
She coordinated. Okay. So I'll give you a background. And that's Scott Stafford. He's the Henny Ha, or the second chief at Duck Creek. He made a gift of a yarn belt to her, a ceremonial gift there. And Ambassador Jonadev Chowdhury, as well as Chief, presenting the Baroness with a blanket. But this all kind of got started a couple years ago, a year and a half ago. The Baroness visited Oklahoma for the Sovereignty Symposium. And when she was here for the Sovereignty Symposium, she talked to Chief and some of the staff about, we have these documents. My staff has been putting together these documents from Muscogee people from back in the late 1700s, where it was sort of these transcriptions and requests of England to, send aid or help out when in some of these battles and trials they've been having with the French back here in what wasn't even America yet. So this was going on, and they established that relationship and everything like that. And the Baroness was like, "I'd love to make a gift of these documents to you all. I'd love you to come over to Parliament. We were going to have some tea, and we'll discuss these documents." And she's got so many more. They want to put together in a book and get the nation to sort of support that effort to get that book made. And the paper that she gave Chief a handwritten note on was the same paper that like the King of England uses, King Charles. And so that was cool. And they're putting it all together on that really nice paper and trying to get all those documents collated and together. And her staff is working hard on that. We met some of her staff, and they were just really good people, very glad to have us. And so we had a tea there at Westminster with the Baroness, and that was great. And we were able to talk to her about that. And then from there, we did our little visit to different parts of Parliament. We watched some of the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And we basically were able to just kind of be like watching the part of English, Parliament, which was neat. But also like we got to see like the House of Lords. They basically initiated 2 new baronesses, which was really cool, really neat opportunity there. And so from there, we also went to the Abbey, like I said, for the service, and that was really cool. And was able to kind of just talk to the Baroness about different things that we, wanted to partner with and talk with her about further ambassadorial, if there's any trips in the future that we may have an opportunity to establish more of a relationship and things like that. So kind of finished up there in England and all of that. And then from there, the next day, we actually was the British Museum Day, where this was really cool because you can see him there, Scott and Chief and a representative from the museum. We got to go view a private collection.
Today we got to visit the British Museum and see collections of Muscogee items that they have in an off-site location. And we specifically got to see Hillis Hadjo, or known as Josiah Francis, a prophet, Red Stick warrior, leader of that movement, one of the leaders. He was from Ataga, tribal town on the Alabama River, and was closely related to Alabamas or Alabamu, who were part of the Creek Confederacy. They have his leggings, his overcoat that are made of deerskin, also his moccasins. They have his sash, belts, hand-woven, also a bandolier bag, and some other legging sashes. So it was great to see these in person. I've only ever seen photos that online. But what's interesting about Hillis Hadjo is that he survived Horseshoe Bend, took Muscogee refugees down into Florida. He came to London, England, in 1815-16 and stayed here 16 months. When he comes back home, he's actually kidnapped and hung by President Andrew Jackson. So very interesting part of our history. Great to be in England and to the UK to see these items, and hope that we can work on a loan to bring them back so our citizens can see them, especially our artists and those who do those weaving techniques.
So there you go. I mean, that basically summed up the trip to the British Museum beautifully there by Ray Lynn Butler, our Secretary of Culture and Humanities. And Ray Lynn is really who kind of got the ball rolling with the Baroness and the British Museum. And that led into that wonderful visit there. Next day, hopped on a train at King's Cross Station, and check it out. Also got to go to platform 9 3/4.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal for you, right?
Harry Potter.
Yep.
Not for me.
Oh, for
I'm not really,
the missus.
Yes. Well, and everybody, Ray Lynn and Abby Duragi. That's our she is our in our NAGPRA office. She's our assistant NAGPRA officer, and so like basically they were like nerding out about the Harry Potter stuff, and it's real huge over there because of not only platform 9 3/4 for like is where essentially I'm told that Harry comes in and out of magically the wall there, and we went to the wall there because their platforms like 9, 10, and numbered and everything like that. So 9 3/4 is essentially just a part of the wall. But they have like a shop there and everything, and we checked that out. And King's Cross train station is super beautiful, just and like so aesthetically pleasing to look at. And hopped on a train there and took the 4-hour train ride north to Edinburgh. And in Edinburgh, the best way I can describe Edinburgh, Scotland, is when you come up out of the steps from down below, which is where the train station is down below, you come up out of these steps into basically just Old Town Edinburgh. It's like you walked into like a time warp. Like everything is just so ancient and like Gothic and incredible. Like I just can't. It's one of those places like in like pictures and stuff. I tried to do it as much justice as I could, but it's hard to describe.
Right.
And we knew we were in a place that was just had some of the most ancient history and revered type of history, and was very different than anything we'd seen. So it was just insane. And that night we visited Scottish Parliament, and that was an opportunity to visit with a member of Scottish Parliament, Mr. Stephen Kerr. And Mr. Stephen Kerr wanted to talk with us about our trip to Scotland, what we were going to be doing, our visit with the University of Edinburgh. But Mr. Kerr also wanted to speak with what opportunities are available to us as nations, both Scotland and the Muscogee Nation, to rekindle what we once had, which was that connection into today's world, and what our opportunities may look like to work together, whether that be economically.
What was that he was showing y'all?
That was a scale of the building we were in there,
the
Scottish Parliament.
Yeah, I see y'all
that's where
gave
they
him
meet.
a gorget.
We did. We presented him with the gorget, and there's our group there that we're talking with him. That's Scott Stafford, myself, Raylan Butler, Jonadev Chowdhury, Chief Hill, and Mr. Kerr. And this is Chief giving him the old Chief Hill, always holding something in his hands when he's talking to you. I love it. He's giving him, that's the Chief Hill treatment there. And then, as you could see, Deputy Secretary of Culture and Humanities, Anthony Beaver there on the right with Ray Lynn, talking about some things. And really, he was just so interested in what we could do moving forward and what our concerns were culturally and in today's modern world, and what we could share with them, maybe what we could come up with to strengthen our relationship and come back and talk about global initiatives like the protection of sacred sites and like the protection of culture and things like that, which they're very down with as well in Scotland, is to hold on to that ancient culture. So for us, that was, it was amazing to be able to go and see Scottish Parliament and check that out. And we had a really good visit there. And we have continued to communicate with he and his staff on some ways that we can maybe go back and make more progress on this. So it was, all in all, it was a great visit there to Scottish Parliament. And that led us into the next day, which is essentially the main event of the entire trip, which was our trip to the University of Edinburgh. And how this came about was the University of Edinburgh's anatomy department contacted Ray Lynn in the NAGPRA office and said, look, we have these human remains that were given to us as part of a phenology study back in the day, which was based on racist tropes of like, oh, natives have different type of skulls, so they're not as smart, or they're smarter,
inferior,
or whatever. Yeah. So it was based on this phrenology study and science, and so the University of Edinburgh's anatomy department had these remains, and they've made a push and a commitment to, if they can, repatriate those remains. And so as you can see here, we're sitting down with the principal at University of Edinburgh, which would be like a president of one of our universities here. And we presented him with a Gorget too. As you can see John doing his best lip purse, like kind of, I'm trying to do this.
Focused.
Yeah, he's focused. And there's us signing the very first official repatriation of remains back to America in history, making history. And the reason that Scott Stafford is there as the representative of the Duck Creek Ceremonial Ground is there were two of those individuals were Yuchi that we brought back. And that was the most meaningful and emotional part of the trip. That's when there were tears shed. That's when there was emotions just running very, very high, because as those remains and those ancestors were transferred back to us, you could feel a sense of completion and a void being filled that had always been like left as an open wound, because the remains were, as you can imagine, extremely old, so kind of held together with wiring and stuff like that. And so as our professional and experts and our NAGPRA folks at Abbey began to free those ancestors of those constraints, it was highly emotional for everybody. Some of us really didn't, of course, take part and everything, because leaving that to the people that know what they're doing. But for them to be freed and be back with their descendants and their people, which was us, was unbelievable. And to take them from there all the way back home and repatriate in Georgia, our ancestral homelands, where they're free and whole, and their eternal rest is no longer disturbed. Unbelievable. And I still think about it today. And I think I will always. I think I'll always think about how much bigger that moment and that part of the trip was than any of us. Because, I get emotional now thinking about it, because who were they? What they went through? What if they could see us now doing a podcast? Blow their minds, And we're back in 2026, bringing them home. And I want to say something, too, about our friends at the University of Edinburgh in the anatomy department, specifically. Tom Gillingwater, who is the head of the anatomy department there, to have the foresight and the intelligence and the heart to be able to reach out to us and want to do this is amazing. Tom Gillingwater, Malcolm McGivery, those guys were our Scottish homies. Literally the entire time we were there, they were great. They took us around. They sponsored they hosted a dinner for us, where we were able to eat some good Scottish food and learn a little bit about the place and their culture and everything like that. And they gifted us, actually, I brought it with me today, the official tartan of the University of Edinburgh, which is, this is their official tartan, their pattern. And only people from the university, their instructors and everything, can wear this pattern on their ties and scarves and everything like that. But they gifted one to us before we left as a show of good faith, and it's something I'll always treasure. About to put that away for the winter, but something I'll always treasure, that time and that experience because of what it meant as far as making our ancestors whole. And the fact that we can't get the same respect and treatment here in the States is, it sucks. Sorry, I can't think of another word right now. We have Auburn University that's still keeping ancestors in plastic bins, and they could give them back and we could repatriate, and it would be just as meaningful and emotional as this was. But as Chief said in his quote, when he was asked by press over in Scotland, excuse me, they asked him about what this means for the nation. He said, well, we had to travel over 4,000 miles and cross an ocean to get the kind of respect that we can't get at home. And that, you could see that lit the eyes up of the people there, because they knew that they were doing something that wasn't just passe, wasn't just, something that's formulaic and, oh yeah, all we're doing is doing what anybody else would do. No, they're not doing what anybody else would do. We know that we have other institutions that won't do the right thing.
And that's what also makes it so special, is that they had to put in effort to do this.
Yeah.
And they did. The fact that they put in all this effort to make it right says a lot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we just appreciate it, and to have that future relationship. Because, like you said, we talked about this before. You don't want everyone to feel bad for what, happened in the past. But, we do look for an effort to make things right in the present.
I'm glad you said that, because we talked about that with them. Because they were, at first, you could feel like this almost like atmosphere of like sorrow from them, like they did something. And we were like, no, you're making this right. You're righting a wrong. Not that anybody at that university in the 70s or 80s or anything like that was wrong, but you're writing something that needs to be done, and needs to be done this way. And maybe timing dictated that Tom Gillingwater and Malcolm McGivery and Chief David Hill and Raylan Butler were the people that were involved in this, and that time needed to wait on those people. I fully believe in divine timing and everything like that, and maybe that's what needed to happen. And I think about that a lot. I think it's okay because this is the time, and that's what I told Tom as well. I had conversations and I said, please don't feel sorry for anything. Feel empowered and proud of the fact that you did this and that we got this done. We're part of history forever. Mm-hmm. Like in 100 years, they'll look back on that, what we did last month. And that's what I mean when I say it's a little bit overwhelming. It's a little bit bigger than little old me or little old, us at this point. Our whole group, we still talk. That group that went over there, we still have like a text thread, and we're still like a family. I mean, it was such a bonding, emotional thing. And we still, Scott Stafford just came and saw me in my office the other day.
Oh, cool.
And so it's something, like I said, we'll carry with us forever. There will be no way to shake that. I mean, it was unbelievable, and it gave us a chance to, like I said, make those ancestors whole and do some other things ambassadorally and nation to nation that need to happen as well. We need to be talking with our global partners about what's happening in indigenous nations and what's happening in the Indian country in the States, because they have an interest and they have a vested interest in what's going on here, but we also have a vested interest there too. I mean, who's to say that the things that we are going to need to take care of in the future won't come from our partners globally or outside of the U.S.? There's no way to tell which way we're going. We see, things trying to take away indigenous rights and treaty rights and things like that every single day in this country. We can't get an Oklahoma court to respect the McGirt decision still, And so I just
multiple courts won't respect it.
Yeah. And so I just think about how important that is to keep those relationships strong and make sure that, we are an international brand. This nation extends far beyond our 11 county boundaries, and it extends back centuries to where every part of this globe we touched. And so honoring the ancestors in that way is big time. Thank God, thank the creator, thank Okfunga, anything you want to say or refer to it as, thank you for having a small part of this for me just to be able to come and tell everybody about it and share this experience, but also just be a part of this Muscogee history and this time was insane. I want to ask, what was it like for being back home and seeing us kind of go over there and representing and stuff like that? Because from what I got from the things I was sharing and everything like that was people were just so happy about it.
Yeah,
and
it was big
I
time.
just didn't know what the reaction would be.
Right. Well, a lot of people thought it was very unique. They didn't think that, another nation overseas outside of the United States would treat us so, like our true sovereign status is.
Yeah.
And they thought that, I thought personally that's huge respect that they think of us in that way in order to, they respect us in that way as a true sovereign nation.
Yeah. Nation
to nation, government to government. So that was pretty cool. But also, it's neat. We don't, I never thought that working at the nation that y'all would be going outside of the country, the United States, especially overseas.
Yeah.
I would think Canada or something like that, where there's other First Nations. Right. But it obviously it was unique. And the aspect that they took the time out, took the effort to invite us over is big, huge, monumental. But it's interesting to think about that. What brought us there? And like you said, it started off bad. What happened was bad. The past. But this always proves that something good can come out of something bad.
Right.
And that's what we proved with this trip, I believe.
I think so too. I love that you say that because so often people that want to tell our story, it's like they get stuck on the sadness or the badness or the despair of it and everything like that.
Right.
And I'm like, don't you know that right on the next page, if you flip it over, is us now thriving and opening clinics for our people every month and doing all this construction and building and progressing and having all this prosperity.
Building houses.
Yeah, building houses for our elders, taking care of our people, giving life-saving COVID shots whenever, COVID was ravaging our communities, not just to Indian people, but to all comers, anybody that needed one, being that pillar of the community and that help place for so many people, and doing it in a way that showcases what we're all about as a people, as far as we over me. And, it's best that we take care of the community as a whole rather than the individual. The fact that we're still doing that and still holding on to that cultural sort of staple in so many years later and still doing these ambassadorial things and realizing the impact and the power of it it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying to know, and I just could not keep thinking about, those ancestors and the people that see us doing that, and it just swells their heart with pride over the Muscogee Nation. I felt that. It made us sort of just keep going over there, and just gave us energy, and was like, we're representing so much, like such a big thing, and so people are so happy to see this. It was awesome. It was awesome, and I'll never forget it. And another thing is, you are spot on. I love that you said they have such a respect and a knowledge and an understanding of native sovereignty, tribal sovereignty, and nationhood. Whereas people here, especially the people in Oklahoma that see us as just sort of a club with a membership card, and that's, no, over there it's you are a nation with a flag, with a government, and with a immense power, vested in you by your constitution and your people. Like, awesome. So cool. But,
right. And then, like you said, here it's sad that we don't get the same respect.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of a meme I seen recently.
Do share.
Or
I love a good meme.
It says, all these treaty rights, and they still ain't treating us right.
Nah. That's good.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a festival t-shirt.
Yeah, I was like, somebody make that a t-shirt.
Somebody needs to. If you're listening, folks. But is there any, like, when I got back, was there anything like you wanted to ask me? Like, what was I know, like, a lot of people were like, what was the food like?
Oh, yeah. What was the food like?
You know what, surprisingly? Because I'm kind of like a little, excuse me, I'm kind of like a little chicken tendies guy, a little bit. I'm pretty picky.
Okay.
If I go somewhere where I'm not really like feeling the food, I'm like, do you got any chicken tendies? It was awesome. Food was great. We ate good every day, and a lot of similar places, but also like definitely tasting the fair, like the fare and the food that they had to offer at these places. We tried haggis in Scotland, which is look it up. Actually, don't look it up. They always say the Scottish people. Malcolm, it was like, I'll try to do a Scottish accent. It was like, don't look it up, just eat it. Like he was like, just eat it. Do not look up what it is, because
just
if you look up what it is, you eat it. Weird Al. So he was like, don't look it up because you won't want to eat it then. But we had haggis, and we had a really nice meal, Highland beef and all kinds of stuff there at the nice restaurant. And then at the other places, just sort of, places where you fish and chips. And there was another dish that was sort of like a shepherd's pie and like stuff like that. It was just really, really cool. And getting to have tea with the Baroness was neat, And the Abbey, the church service in the Abbey was different for a lot of us, but we're kind of the native kids like in detention, looking at each other like, oh, everybody be on their best behavior now. We're in church service, but it was different, but it was really cool. Thinking, we've been in the same spot that where princes and princesses have been married and queens have been laid to rest, and
I was gonna say
it was crazy.
The Abbey. Isn't that where they crown?
Yeah, absolutely. That's where the coronation is too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Westminster Abbey, that's where Diana's funeral was, Princess Di's funeral.
Really?
Yeah. And so seeing that like little platform.
Like all the royal weddings, were they there too?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That is very historic.
Yep. And we saw Buckingham Palace. That was cool. The flag was up, so the king was there. And when we were in Westminster, Prince Harry was there with Meghan. So Prince Harry had a court, actually. They had a court thing over his phone getting hacked or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
But, check it out. Look it up. Maybe.
Yeah, there was a thing with Meghan Markle when she was young, I guess, when she was like a teenager. She went on a trip to the UK and she took a picture in front of what'd you say it was called?
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, Buckingham Palace. Yeah. And then someone said, "That's the greatest glow up I ever
saw." She sure did.
Now she's married.
She like made it happen. She manifested that. Yeah. That's what she did. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, there were so many things to see and really just enjoy. And like I said, incredible, great people, great food, great culture, architecture, amazing history, something to see every day, everywhere we looked. And I'll never forget it. It was amazing. It made it such an imprint on me, something I'm so glad I was able to be here and do. And happy for Chief too, that he's such a good guy and he's such a good man and he works so hard for the people. He really does, man. Anybody out there I know comes with the territory to be, in politics. It comes with the territory to have people griping about what you're doing, not happy about this, not happy about that, whatever. Chief Hill is such a good man. He cares so much and he tries so hard and he is the heart. He has such a heart for the Muscogee people. For me personally, to see him be the guy to have this opportunity and make this history, it meant so much to me to see that. Very, very proud of him.
And he laid
Very
the
proud of him.
foundation
Yeah.
for future future relationships, government to government relationships with the UK.
It's got to be the first guy through the door, though. You got to have somebody break that seal and everybody follow. And so that was important too. I can't wait for the next chief to see who goes over and keeps this going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does the future relationship entail?
I just think we keep it consistent and we have them here. We go there. We asked the Baroness if she wanted to come over to the festival, and she was like, it might be a bit hot for me.
Dang, you used to that.
I said, it certainly will. You'll sweat your hat off. What do you say? Sweat your edges off. That's what you always
Sweat my
say.
edges
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so
they wear hats,
Yeah.
don't they, when it's an event?
Yeah. So
Oh,
it
gosh.
was great.
That'd
And,
be cool though if they did
yeah.
come.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome. Well, we will keep everyone advised, and I certainly have a great time looking back on it, strolling down memory lane. It's a wonderful memory for me. So glad to be able to share it with everybody here on the Muscogee Pod.
And most importantly, our ancestors are home.
Absolutely, they're home. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing from this trip is that if nothing else happened, if we just went to the University of Edinburgh, brought them back, put them back in the ground, that'd be worth it. And that was the main thing. So we kept the main thing, and got to do a couple of this stuff. Things. So it was great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I guess we'll wrap it up
Yeah.
with some upcoming events.
Yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
I
Look at
think
that.
we announced, that we're going to have the high school playoffs again. We're
Yes.
hosting
Area tournaments.
Yeah, the Class B2
Mhm.
and Class 3A.
Yep, Class B2 and 3A, and that's coming up February 26th through 28th this
Yes.
week. And then we'll have in March, 5th through the 7th, I believe.
Yeah, 3A,
Yep.
5th through the 7th.
Look at that
but-
shot. Did you take that picture?
Yeah, man.
Such a good
These are some
pic,
good shots I
man.
got
Really
last
good
year.
shots.
We love hosting.
Yeah.
We're happy to host.
Mhm.
So glad that we have some good facilities for
Yeah.
our student
It's
athletes
great.
to
It's
enjoy.
great. And I think that was Wilson and Sasakwa
Yeah.
right there. So that's like, wow, what a great matchup to be at the Muskogee Dome. you know?
Yeah, for
We're-
sure.
We're blessed to have it.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome
Mhm.
that we get to utilize it and our communities get to enjoy it.
Yes.
Everybody does. So, but we got a car seat training event coming up hosted
nice.
by the Head Start program.
You know
it's-
what? Don't sniff at that. It's hard to put a car seat in. You need to know how to do it right.
Hey,
I was always the guy that was like, what? You just buckle it in, And no, it's not true. You need a car seat training event. Seriously.
for real. So that'll be March 10th at the Head Start program here in Okmulgee. The deadline to register for that is March 6th. You must pre-register because there's limited quantities. But yeah, it's such a good thing they do for the public for that. Next thing we got is we're in the throes of income tax season.
We are the VITA program.
Yeah.
And that's another wonderful service that our tribe provides. Start e-filing taxes. They've already started in the second. And so this is that time of year. Get your taxes done. If you have a little anxiety about it or just not sure or whatever, we have the help for that. And that's the VITA program. And they do a great job over there.
Yeah, sure do.
Call them.
Call them.
Call.
It's free.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't make any more than $69,000 per year per household. Let's see what we got. Scholarship Foundation is having a fundraiser with OU baseball and OU softball.
Good time to be teaming up with these two teams because they're both in the top 10 in their respective sports. OU baseball off to a great start. They're undefeated right now. OU softball, again, a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And one of the top teams in the country. So Saturday, March 14th, OU baseball will take on the Texas A&M Aggies there at Kimry Family Stadium. That starts at 4 o'clock. And then OU softball on Saturday, April 18th at 2, will be taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, during these games, $2 from every ticket are going to go to the Muscogee Scholarship Foundation. How awesome is that?
Great cause. But in order for that to happen, you must purchase the tickets at the link provided.
Yes.
So be sure you go to that link.
For sure.
Or call the number or email below.
Yeah. Pause it, take a picture of it, and then go from there.
Yep. Please
Absolutely,
do.
yeah.
Our scholarship students appreciate you.
Absolutely. Is that all we got this week?
That is all we got. But for more
Awesome.
events, we always have something happening,
right.
going on. Just go to MuscogeeNation.com/events. They're all listed right there for you.
Thank you, Chris Byers. Does a great job keeping those up for us there on the website. As always, if you want to holler at us, you can do that. Muscogee Pod at MuscogeeNation.com. Questions, comments, criticisms, gripes, and/or complaints. And if you want to ask us a question, please send it in. We'll read it on air and try to answer the best of our ability.
Yep. Send us a DM, comment on YouTube.
Slide in those DMs.
But yeah, and like and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. Like and subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. That's how we share what we're doing with everybody else, and we become a more popular podcast, and everybody out there should be listening, watching, and hanging out with us here in the cave. So, Shelb, let's get out of here. That's been MCN to the UK. We hope everybody has enjoyed looking back on that with us and getting ready for some big events coming up at the Nation and looking back on some big events here in the last few weeks. So, for my partner right here, Shelby Botone, Shelby, I am Jason Salsman. Thank you guys for being with us, and we will see you next time right here with conversations from our reservation out of the cave. It's the Muscogee Pod.
Hadam chi chatlis.
Nice.